Sorry, I think I'm not audible. Okay. A hearty welcome, everyone. I'm P. Shravan Kumar, the founder and Chief Executive Officer of SK Associates and Group, an ex-analyst at Citigroup and JP Morgan, the leading Wall Street banks of New York Street Exchange, and an ex-associate solicitor at the Supreme Court of India and the Karnataka High Court. I'm your host for today's session of Conference 0.5, Merging Legal Issues SK Associates and Group is an ISO certified management consulting firm registered under MSMED Act 2006 with the Government of India. We focus on providing management consulting services in the domain of compliance, operations, marketing,
Okay, so I think Shravan has some network issues, so we can wait for a minute just.
Yeah, Varsha, am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible now. Okay.
Okay, fine. So coming back to where I had stopped, we work with startups and train potential student entrepreneurs who are aiming to bring a significant change either in the business model, in the scale of their operations, or both. To succeed in this endeavor, our clients need a specific type of consultant, someone who is a problem solver. Typically, such a person is entrepreneurial and passionate, thinks out of the box, has an idea where the problem lies, or to analyze it, and most importantly, what would serve as a perfect solution for it. Such people have worked and lived in different continents and countries. They have worked on exciting projects. They have taken risks and have the scars to show for it. We call such. We have worked over the last 3 years to build a network of such people, reaching out to them across universities, across industries, and across the gamut of functional. Time and again, we have seen magic happen when we find the perfect solutions for our clients. And this is what actually drives us and keeps us motivated each. We're passionate and excited about the impact such individuals can have in building the next generation of iconic organizations in the corporate sector. So, up till now, we have had two sessions of legal issues in Incorporation of Startups. Today, I would like to start the third session of Conference 0.5 by describing our mission. Our mission is to mentor 3 lakh students across India by 2026 by providing them with consulting services in strategy and operations, human capital, compliance, legal advisory, research and development, taxation, marketing, and help them in establishing their ventures by investing 20 crores in their startups over the next 5 years. We also aim to provide 50,000 employment opportunities to various lecturers across the nation by providing them with multiple volunteering chances. We strongly believe that strategic alliance and collaboration working for the cause of global economic growth. Our executive management and operations team is always dedicated on working towards entrepreneurial development and community impact with a concentration on the point. Students are the upcoming future generations of our nation and need to be empowered for global economic. Now, I would like to introduce my co-host, P. Varsha Kumari, who would be taking over after I introduce the guests for today. So, coming over for our guests for today. Today, we have 6 honorable guests, especially from the domains of chartered accountant means in India, which are basically considered for the level of C-suite management professionals and who are experts. They are considered experts by the auditing and management consulting industry, the domains of tax compliance and legal compliance services. First of all, I would like to introduce Advocate Yasir Chowdhury, who is a practicing attorney of law at the High Court of Delhi since 2010. Mr. Chowdhury is the proprietor and owner of BHR&R Law Firm, enrolled with the Bar Council of Delhi since 2008. Having done his BA LLB from CCS University in 2008, he is an experienced lawyer with 14 years of practice at the Delhi High Court. Being a young man at heart, Mr. Chowdhury loves to click nature photography and play cricket in his free time. Next, we have CS Santosh Kumar, who is the current chairman of Jamshedpur chapter of ICSI. A company secretary in practice since 2017, Mr. Santosh Kumar is a corporate legal advisor with a focus on the Companies Act 2013, SEBI, ICTR Regulations 2009, Labor and Industrial Laws, Direct and Indirect Tax Laws, Corporate Banking and Secretarial Audit. Having done his bachelor's in accounting and finance from IGNOU, Mr. Kumar also regularly volunteers as a guest lecturer at Admiral Global Business Group in Patna, Bihar. Next, we have CS Manisha Mittal, who is a company secretary in practice in 2009. A lawyer by passion and a CS by profession, Ms. Mittal has completed her bachelor's in commerce and law from Kurukshetra University in 2015. She has worked with PCS Rajesh Garg and Associates and Hisar District Court in Haryana. Currently, she is working as a compliance officer at MG Associates Hisar and is a specialist in labor disputes, adoption and civil matters, secretarial and legal compliance issues. Post that, we have CACS Deepa Sundrani, who is a practicing chartered accountant and company secretary at Sundrani D and Associates, Delhi, since 2013. A member of the WRC wing of ICI, Ms. Sundrani is a chartered accountant with 8 years of practice in project financing, corporate works, taxation, ROC and tax filing, consultancy, secretarial compliance and XBRL filing, NCLT matters, PSARA, ISO audits, RERA registrations, and certification. Ms. Sundrani has a strong belief in networking and mutual development. She is a role model for various female CA and CS aspirants with a strong belief in the fact even God helps those who help themselves. Next, we have CS Tushar Pahade, who was the former chairman of Nagpur chapter of WIRC of ICSI. As a company secretary with more than 12 years of practice, Mr. Tushar Pahade has an extensive knowledge of company law and compliance guidelines. An educator by passion, he is a renowned faculty for CA, CS, and CMA professionals in India. He is a company of experience in compliance and secretarial audit services at Joshi Pahade and Associates. Last but not the least, we have Mr. C. A. Pankaj Goyal, who is the owner and proprietor of Pankaj Goyal and Associates, a chartered accountancy firm in Sirsa, Haryana. Being a chartered accountant in practice since 2013, Mr. Goyal is an expert professional with around 10 years of experience in taxation and statutory audit services. He has pursued his bachelor's and master's in commercial law from the renowned Kurukshetra University. I would like to invite my co-host, Ms. P. Varsha Kumari, the head HR associate at SK Associates Sandra, to take over the conference. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Myself, P. Varsha Kumari. So, I would now like to invite CS Santosh Kumar, the chairman of Jamshedpur chapter of ICSI, to come forward and begin with his speech. I think Santosh just left the meeting.
Okay. So, Vaishali, if until then you could post a call for our audience. Okay, so the question is, which of these individuals were lead in order, actors, and student and non-student? Amazing. Non scandal 2001. Good research topic. So, I guess it was Jeff Bezos. Okay, no issues. Until CS Santosh Kumar joins us, I would like to invite CS Manisha Mittal from Delhi chapter of ICSI to come forward and give a speech.
Until our speakers come, the audience can just answer the poll given in the
Miss
chat.
Manisha, am I audible? Am I audible, Varsha?
Yeah, you are audible.
Okay.
I think they have some network issues.
Okay, no issue with that.
Okay, so we just
Yeah, Miss
have.
Mittal, you may definitely begin.
Yeah, okay, so now I'll just like to call forward Miss Deepa Sundrani from. Yeah, ma'am, you are just audible.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm from Maharashtra basically. Thank you, Shravan Kumar ji, and thank you, Team SK and Associates. Myself, Deepa Sundrani, CS and practicing CA. First of all, a very healthy and happy evening to one and all. Today's topic of discussion is emerging legal issues in incorporation of startups, right? Legal issues. Let us first understand what the meaning of startup is. Okay, it is something a technical term as per the definition of Indian government, right? But before that, let us first simplify it. The simpler example can be, suppose I go to a market and buy an apple at 10, and then in my own label and packaging, we sell it at 12. Now tell me, is this a startup? No, obviously not. Because it's just a reselling and type of business. I just added my margin for the time involved. Okay. And resold it. This is a business like self employment. I can take out working capital and daily day to day expense. Little modification to the same example. Okay. Suppose I buy the same apple at 10 and apply my own innovation, my own skills, my own idea with the use of technology. I convert it into the apple shake and then sell it at 30. So this may be a kind of startup. So basically, with this example, I can explain you that a startup involves use of technology, some innovative idea, some creative idea, or you can say generation of employment. Any idea with employment is a kind of startup. Okay, and now come to the technical term. Are you getting? I mean, the simpler concept of a startup. Yeah, which involves use of technology or some creative idea or innovation which generates employment. These are the main basic points of any startup. And you all must be knowing the word entrepreneur and entrepreneurship. Okay, so I'm not going into that. Just we just focus on the legal issues. Like after this, let me explain you what the term startup as Indian government in 2016 has launched its new initiative, encouraged its new initiative of a Startup India. There's also a website named startupindia.gov.in. You can also visit there. In that scheme, the companies which meet the eligibility criteria will be recognized as startup entities. Okay, and that recognition shall be given by the DPIIT. This is the authority. Okay, the eligibility criteria are like the turnover of the company should not be 100 crore or more, and the company must be a new one. Say max to max is must be incorporated in last 10 years, not older than 10 years. Okay, Another condition is that it must involve innovation and something. Innovation and scalable means it creates wealth or generate new employment. Okay. It meets these criteria. And one another criteria is that there must be a legal entity. Legal entity means partnership form, which is a registered one, or LLP, or a company, okay, incorporated under Companies Act 2013. See, by all these criteria, we can at least understand that a sole proprietorship can't get recognition under startup. Why this is so? Because see, suppose I'm a vendor and I come to you for any contract or deal signing. How will I trust on you if you are a sole individual? At least I'll need
Ma'am,
some legal
excuse me.
recognition. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, ma'am. Just can you be a bit more louder because the audience can't hear you properly?
Okay, okay. Thank you to inform me. Yeah. Um, was that audible which I just explained?
Yeah, yeah, ma'am.
Shall I go ahead after that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can go ahead.
Okay, okay. So, the eligibility criteria, I just repeat the eligibility criteria for any startup is that the company should not be older than 10 years, okay? And the turnover should not be more than 100 crores since its incorporation. And third criteria was that entity must be a corporate, private limited company or an LLP or a partnership firm which is registered. Am I properly audible now?
Yeah, yeah, ma'am. You're audible now.
So now you must be wondering why we should go and register under the Startup India scheme. Okay, right. So there are some benefits like you can enjoy tax exemption. The tax laws are favorable in your favor after you get recognition under the startup, and you can have 3 years of capital gain tax exemption. I know these terms may be technical to you, but I'm trying to simplify as much as I can. Now, as an entrepreneur, you must obtain registration under IPR, Intellectual Property Rights, as on the first day that sir explained about IPR, right? So you can get up to 80% exemption in registration fees of IPR online. You have to pay some registration fees for trademark, right? So government allows you 80% exemption, and apart from that there are exemption like there won't be any inspection for up to 3 years once you get that recognition. Yeah, for income tax purpose you have to separately register for income tax exemption certificate also after that startup india application. Okay. And another benefit maybe yeah, you can self certify for labor laws and for environmental laws. See, being in Maharashtra, the legal challenge is that if our company is some kind of industry, we have to give application registration from MPCB, like Maharashtra Pollution Control Board, same the Central Pollution Control Board. So we can self-certify that for 3 years almost after that startup in the application. What is the reason behind this 3 years of exemptions in all categories after obtaining startup India registration? Any business can't grow in a single day or 1 month or 2 days or 2 months. Okay. So government has fixed a medium average scale of 3 years. You can like enjoy tax benefits and many other benefits for up to 3 years. Until then you can invest those times, the that time you save into the business itself, and it helps growing more and more ahead. Okay. This is the reason behind that. And now, we'll explain the legal issues in startup. But before that, ma'am, Varsha, ma'am, can you please share that screen, which
Yeah,
was
ma'am.
relevant to the
Just a
yeah.
second. Yes, ma'am. So is the video visible?
Yeah. On the first page itself, it is DPIIT recognition. It's the authority itself for Startup India. See, the Modi government actually the initiative is very much helpful. Okay, ma'am, please don't play. Just wait for 2 minutes more.
Yeah,
Actually, the
ma'am.
initiative of startup. See, everybody knows Nika and Unacademy and Zerodha. Zerodha was started 10 years ago, right? Now it's been a widely like it's very much famous now. Everyone knows what Zero, the Unacademy, and Nika. In fact, Nika has issued its IPO also recently. Okay, so they were once a startup at any point of time, and they didn't start suddenly. They might be they were having the plans of those business 5 years before they actually came into the market. Okay, so this was the initiative of Modi government, and the reason behind that, see, if I ask you, which browser are you using? In every cell phone, there's a Google browser. Okay, America owns it, US owns it. India can have India can have its own browser. If we like start initiative of startup, one day we'll able to create our own WhatsApp, our own Facebook apps, our own Google browser apps. So we the all browsers, the all social media platforms we are using nowadays, they belongs to America, not India. So once we step ahead into the like entrepreneurship, one day we will generate these also IT based also. So India is a leading country. It's almost on the third largest level in the field of startups. So Modi government, from the viewpoint of this, started this initiative. Ma'am, please play this video. Thank you. Uh, the points I told are in this video only. This is the government's portal, startupindia.gov.in. See which type of companies are eligible for startup. This is the company's age. Yeah. And as I told you, it should not be older than 10 years. And then next point, company's type must be a legal registered entity. Third point is annual turnover must not be more than 100 crore more. And then original entity, yeah. It must not be formed by reconstruction or changing the terms, objects of the company like reconstruction. Okay, it must be original entity, innovable and scalable. Yeah. Then, as I already told you, the benefits, why you should register for startups. Okay, just please play the video. Yeah. Below are the benefits. Ma'am, please go to the last point. Oh, no, ma'am. Yeah. You can have benefits in the economic law. Actually, the details are available on the portal itself, but you can just overlook from this. Labor laws, environmental laws, like CPCB board, pollution control and efficient. You can self-certify that. You need not go to the government and take those registrations. Okay, these are the benefits. Thank you. I would recommend visit that portal again. Now come to the main topic, legal issues in the startups in India. Actually, these are the challenges, I would say, but there's always a solution to every problem. I would just go through the list of legal issues, then I would suggest the solution. Okay, legal issues may be the type of business structure. An entrepreneur, the first step itself is what type of like business entity shall I form, like partnership firm. If you are more than two partners, you can have partnership firm, private company, or LLP. Okay, every structure has its own benefits, which will be detailed. Maybe if we get next session, we will discuss it out. Okay, and then another legal issue may be like taking registrations and then agreements. Because once you form a company, you have to take registration and licensing. Sorry, agreements and documents like memorandum, articles of association. If you have a firm, you have to take a registered your partnership firm deed and all. And after that, another challenge. So why I'm discussing this legal issue? See, if you wanna be a perfect entrepreneur, you need not just to lead the business, you must be having the overall knowledge of everything, not in-depth knowledge, because there are chartered accountants and legal consultants are there to like take care of that, but you just at least have a broad idea of that what's going into my business. So third concern may be licensing and permissions. Uh, even if a sole individual go and start a business, he requires to obtain PAN number and then Udyam registration. Earlier it was Shopek license, Udyogadar, right? And in the firm, in the company, we need to obtain, if there are more than 10 employees, we need to obtain ESIC registration. And if more than 20 employees you hire, you need to obtain Provident Fund registration, EPF. Okay, and then you need to deduct tax on their salaries, so 10 number. And then if your turnover exceeds 40 lakhs, then you need to obtain GST registration. And apart from that, there are compliance part, because see, once you obtain GST registration or you get registered on ROC, you must mandatorily file those comply with those laws, like file GST returns. Even if the turnover for that particular month is zero, still you have to file nil return once you get GST registration. And same happens with the ROC. You have to comply with the ROC portal, MCA filings, annual filings, statutory audit report, and everything. Okay. So these compliances are little bit typical for an entrepreneur. He thinks whether I focus on these or on my business. So I will discuss it later. There is the solution for all this, and another maybe contracts. Once you into any business, you must need to make contracts because see, if any dispute arises in future, then whom will you sue? Okay, from whom will you claim it? So there must be a contract with a co-founder, with a partner, with a vendor, with a landlord, with a client, anyone whom you wish to. Okay, contract should be there. And then zonal laws. Say zonal laws means the regional laws where we open a startup our business. Okay. The zonal laws can be, suppose I use my residential land property for industrial purpose. So this is the forbidden as per law. This should not be done like that. Another maybe insurance, take property insurance, casualty insurance, workers insurance, life insurance. Then what may be another legal issues? Systematic protection of IPR. If entrepreneur thinks that their idea can be stolen, like idea or plan or anything like trade secret, then you need to obtain to protect that. You need to obtain registration under patent, copyright, trademark, and trade secret. Every concept is different. Actually, if time permits, I'll explain you in detail the meaning of everything. Okay. Actually, basically, trademark is a kind of branding to your business, branding to your goods, product, and maybe a trade secret is like a formula, like Pepsi has its own manufacturing formula, right? So these are the trade secrets. And another maybe hidden cost. This is also one of the legal issue. Hidden cost means an entrepreneur must provide for reserve provision for hidden cost like warranty period. It is also hidden cost, and the labeling on your products. If you provide false labeling on your products that your products are nutritional and all, if these are the false labelings, you must make provision for that. You will be penalized for that. Okay, entrepreneur need to take care of these. And then another thing is compliance. Once all documentation is done, everything is done for an entrepreneur to get registered, then comes the compliance part, actual part. So you need not to worry about that. As I told you, there's a single step solution for that, and that is a legal consultant. Just hire proper, take consultancy from a proper chartered accountant, say company secretary or a legal consultant, and all your problems will get solved because they do all in their regular, as I do for my clients. Another part compliance like ROC, GST, and income tax. And what may be other obstacles like to obtain domain name, create a website, advertisement, market strategy. In fact, I believe first of all, these obstacles are very prominent to be considered into apart from legal issues. Which one? You must be having sufficient skills to lead that business, to grow that business. Another is a perfect marketing strategy because you are leading that business if you don't have any marketing strategy, so there won't be any customer anymore in future. Okay, so there must be perfect market strategy, a stronger market strategy instead. And funding the main thing which entrepreneur takes into consideration. Now this seminar is like students are also attending, so they might be thinking that ma'am is telling these and those things to start an entrepreneurship, but what about funding? From where will we get funding? So the government of India has allotted 1,000 crore funds for the new startups and also 500 crore funds for CGS scheme under CGS credit guarantee schemes. So there are many fundings available. Also, apart from these, there's another funding facilities available. Like once you start up your business, you have bootstraps. Bootstraps means the own kind of own contribution which you arrange from your family, from yourself, from your savings, friends, and relatives. And after that comes outside funds. You, if you want to expand your business, then take some outside funds, which is called seed funding. Seed funding means initial funding, like seeds are the first step of plants. Okay, same for the business. And those who provide you seed funding are called angel investors. I'm just simplifying the concept. Okay, like let's not make it complex. angel investors provides you the external funding. Then comes the step if you want to expand more and more on the bigger level like unicorn business in India. Unicorn means which have a turnover of one exceeding $1 billion. The startup business, there are seven startup business in last year were recognized as unicorn because they have turnover to the $1 billion and above that level. Okay, so they can create venture capital funds. They can like borrow venture capital. There are series for that like A, B, five such series because the funds increases as per the series and the expansion of business. Okay, suppose for example series A contains funds from 300 crore to 700 crores and so on, and then comes the IPO. Now recently I told you Nika has issued IPO. It doesn't directly came into the market and issued IPO. It's not like that. Once it was a startup, then it raised bootstrap, then it raised angel investors, and then venture capital, and then IPO. These are the levels of entrepreneur. Now these were the concept of entrepreneurs without taking much time. Actually, I think the next question. I have a smaller one more concept to explain.
Yeah, mom, you can just take 5 minutes more if you want.
Okay, so I would conclude my session. So basically, for an entrepreneurship, there must be never miss any opportunity. First of all, okay, there must be something creative idea, innovative idea or skills, and if you have, my conclusion is, if you have potential to convert the complex things into simple, then you can be an entrepreneur. Definitely, one day you can be a future entrepreneur.